Look at this. Look at this. See that? Physically grabbing her, applying pressure, pushing her. Look at Brittany Griner.
New video has just come out showing exactly how Caitlin Clark, the WNBA's biggest star and ratings powerhouse, got hurt. And what it shows is more than just upsetting, it's disturbing. The truth is, the WNBA has a serious problem with rough, overly aggressive play, and Caitlin Clark is now the latest target. It's shocking to see how little is being done to protect the very player who's brought the most attention and fans to the league.
Finally, a player that's worth paying the money for. Caitlin Clark comes along. What do, WNBA? You beat her up. You treat her like crap. You treat her like she's dog doo-doo, dude. I never seen this in any sport, bro. Not even Jordan.
Here's the part nobody at the league office wants to talk about. Caitlin Clark didn't just wake up with a sore leg. She didn't slip, and this wasn't some minor injury from a light warm dash-up. No, she was clearly targeted. Fouled, grabbed, shoved, and roughed up by players who looked more like they were wrestling than playing basketball. And the worst part? The referees saw it all, and did absolutely nothing. It's like they were being paid to ignore it.
Caitlin Clark has been moving in slow motion. As good as she's been moving in slow motion. And it is, it makes sense. It genuinely makes sense. All of this stuff. And you've got Scott Agnes, a reporter, saying that the injury has been bothering her since training camp. So she's been playing. So essentially, she was massaging the area and wearing a pad during the Iowa preseason game. They're saying lower leg injury for some reason. Minor quad strains need 2 to 4 weeks of rest, and they can nag you.
On May 26, 2025, the Indiana Fever announced that their star guard, Caitlin Clark, would be out for at least 2 weeks due to a strain in her left quad. 2 weeks. That means she's missing at least 4 games, and that's if everything goes perfectly. But let's be real, muscle injuries don't always heal on schedule. This could easily turn into 3 weeks, a month, or even longer.
People are noting that a grade 1 quad strain is 1 to 2 weeks, a grade 2 quad strain is 3 to 6 weeks, and grade 3s would need surgery. This is not like the end of the world of injuries at all. I think what is so dark about this is that Caitlin Clark will definitely be missing a lot of basketball in a short WNBA season. Obviously, the best thing to do is to rest her so that when she does come back, she is fully healed and the injury can't get worse. Though it is hard to measure when these types of injuries are better, I will say having a quadricep injury is much better than having like a calf injury or a hamstring injury. And I have to say that I did notice in the Liberty game, Caitlin Clark's shots were all very short. So it was showing that she wasn't like getting off and she was having a difficult time making those threes, and a lot of explosiveness from those 3-point shots does come from your legs. Her shot was just so obviously off, and for it to be short, it kind of makes a little sense.
The Indiana Fever may be brushing this off as just another routine injury, but new footage tells a very different story. Iron clips from the game against the Atlanta Dream. Yeah, the one where fans were yelling, "You're in Atlanta," like that somehow justified what was happening. We see exactly what led to Caitlin Clark getting hurt. One player after another went after her, grabbing, shoving, and applying pressure that had nothing to do with real basketball. This wasn't just tough defense. It was intimidation, plain and simple. What happened to Clark wasn't an accident. It was targeted, it was excessive, and it happened right out in the open, with no one stepping in to stop it.
Look at this. Look at how physical they are. Now, granted, Caitlin Clark has been in the weight room this season, but I'm telling you right now, there's only so much your body can take, man. Look at how close Ryan Howard playing her. This is crazy. And this is just one video. I got another one I want to show you guys as well.
Now here's where things get even more revealing. Multiple sources, including fans who were at the games, say Caitlin Clark had been using heating pads on her quad for weeks, maybe even going back to the preseason. Let that sink in. This is a player who hadn't missed a single game since 2017. She played 185 straight games between college and the pros, and she was out there pushing through an injury that clearly needed extra care just to get through the night. And what did the league do? Nothing. No protection. No calls on obvious fouls. Game after game, the refs let her take hit after hit, until her body finally gave out.
The commissioner's the worst commissioner in sports. She is horrible. She wants rivalries, this WWE style. Like, nobody wants to see that, Kathy. You're a horrible commissioner. You know what? Have some dignity and just resign today. You ruined this thing. You ruined a great thing. This could be the first time you don't need the NBA assistants to go in the green, but you're going to go in the red this year because you're an idiot. You're stupid, and the fans don't like this shit. We want to see quality basketball. Nobody's asking for Keelan Clark to get a handout. We just want to see some fair refereeing, because these referees from Temu and Wayfair, they're garbage, bro. I've seen better refereeing at a Pee Wee game, bro, at AAU. They suck. And then on top of that, the players, they're just not likable, man. They're not. That's the problem with the league. They're not likable. Caitlin Clark's likable.
If you're enjoying this, make sure to subscribe. Now, let's be honest, the timing of Caitlin Clark's injury couldn't be worse for the WNBA. And honestly, the league has no one to blame but itself. The financial fallout? Well, they earned it. Let's look at the numbers, because unlike the refs, numbers don't lie. In 2024, 21 out of 24 WNBA games that pulled in over 1 million viewers had one thing in common: Caitlin Clark. That's right, 21 out of 24 games featuring Clark averaged 1.19 million viewers. Games without her? Just 394,000. That's not a small gap. That's the difference between a league with real momentum and one that most people overlook, and we're already seeing the impact. Ticket prices for the big rematch between Clark and Angel Reese dropped 42%, falling from $137 to $80 as soon as the injury was announced. That's not just a dip, that's a collapse in demand. The message is loud and clear. Caitlin Clark is the reason people are tuning in. She's the reason seats are filled. Without her, interest drops fast. And if the WNBA won't protect its biggest star, they'll pay the price in more ways than one.
Be here with you guys today. If there wasn't any worry going on in the WNBA executive offices, if there was no worry, oh, people aren't going to turn off, oh, people are still going to show up, if that was the thought that they were having up there in WNBA La La Land, well, now might be the time to hit the panic button. 48 hours after news hits that Caitlin Clark is injured and she'll be missing 2 weeks, the market has responded, and the market has told the WNBA, we don't want this. We want her, but we don't want this. What am I talking about? Indiana Fever ticket prices to games over the next 2 weeks have dropped 42% since Caitlin Clark's injury announcement. An average ticket price of $137, all the way down to $80.
Stephen A. Smith said it best. He's watching closely to see what happens to the ratings now that Caitlin Clark is out for a couple of weeks. And let's be real, if the numbers crash, and they likely will, it's going to show just how much the WNBA depends on one player. The same player they failed to protect. Smith didn't hold back. He said, if there's a huge drop in viewership, then everyone needs to stop denying it and admit the truth. All those claims about Clark being the golden goose? 100% accurate. He's not wrong. The last matchup between Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese brought in a massive 2.7 million viewers, the most watched WNBA regular season game in 25 years. At its peak, it hit 3.1 million. Those are record-breaking numbers, the kind the WNBA hasn't seen since its early NBC days. And now? The league is about to see what happens when the only player fans are tuning in for is suddenly not there.
How big of a blow is this to the W?
We'll find out. We don't know yet, but I'm going to be really, really interested in seeing, Molly, what kind of effect this has on the WNBA's ratings, because if for some reason there is a precipitous drop-off, then everybody needs to stand down and recognize the fact that the speculation or the assertions and assumptions about her being the golden goose is validated.